Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Chrome Soft Golf Ball from Callaway.
Greetings and welcome. Steve Burkowski with you for your Golf Central update. Final results from the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. The PGA Tour was at TPC, Louisiana. And from Thursday to Sunday, wire to wire for Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. They started the day with a 5-shot lead. It ended up 2. And they were done on that 18th green late on Sunday afternoon. Good enough for both players to get back into the winner's circle for the first time on the PGA Tour in 2022. And they spoke with Rex Hoggard.
Thank you very much. A dominant performance, 29 under par, but it did get a little close around the turn. How aware were you that Sam and Billy were just a shot back, and how clutch was that birdie on 11 to keep your momentum going?
Yeah, we were cruising. You know, Pat hit an unbelievable shot into 7. And then he had a really good putt on 8 that sort of horseshoed out, and then 9 I missed the green with an 8-iron. So it was kind of a weird swing of events. I hit a terrible wedge on 10, put him in a bad spot again. So I was happy to put him back in the fairway, and he gave me an easy 2-putt, or for him to kind of clean up for birdie on 11. So overall, I wasn't thinking too much about it. I was just trying to make sure I was putting Pat in the correct spots.
You know, I mentioned how dominant this performance was, and I asked you yesterday, I'm curious, coming into today, what was the biggest challenge?
I think just anytime you get in contention, staying present and focusing on the task at hand, as cliche as it sounds, is just the most paramount thing. And so it is the biggest challenge because that should be really your only focus. And I think we did a good job of that today, even with some trials and tribulations in the middle. So, you know, we played well, and good thing we had that big lead going into today, and we played solid today coming in, and I'm really happy with how we played all week.
They talked about on the telecast today. What is it that Tiger Woods saw in 2019 at the President's Cup that makes you such a good pairing?
I think we just told him that we're going to play together, and he said okay. Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, Tiger's got good intuition too.
Yeah. I mean, he saw us hanging out, and he knew we were close already prior, so I think it was a bit of a no-brainer, and fortunately we played well, so he didn't have to think twice about it.
You mentioned that the 59 on Thursday was a record in your own personal record book, and even though it's a team event, it's also a tournament record. How much solace do you take from that?
Yeah, I think both of our best ball rounds. I mean, we played really well in the best ball format, which, you know, in the past hasn't been our strongest format. So I was really happy with how we just kept the accelerator down and made birdie after birdie in both best ball rounds. It was really the key to this week and the key to us having such a, you know, an easy ride in on the back nine.
USGA championship season underway in 2022. The U.S. Women's Amateur 4-ball concluded in Puerto Rico. It was Leanna Wynn and Sarah Im, a 1-up victory over Caitlin Schroeder and Bailey Shoemaker, the 2 teenagers from Georgia who battled it out in the Georgia State Women's Amateur a couple of years ago. Team up to become USGA champions. Congrats to those in the field this week in Puerto Rico.
We've been doing this since 2019, since we were freshmen and middle schoolers, and we've been friends before that for a very long time. We played a lot of golf together, and we built a lot of trust within each other. Like when someone's, you know, not in play, the other one will definitely got the other one's back, and that was something that was really important for this entire tournament.
I think another thing is consistency. Like, we were pretty consistent, I would say, every round, like 3-4 under, I think, maybe. Yeah. But I definitely think consistency and luck, honestly, a little bit.
Luck is definitely is always going to be a factor in golf.
In match play, especially in a team tournament like 4-ball, like
that's something that you really need to take into account.
There's skill too, don't worry.
Yeah. Would you say this is one of the biggest tournaments you've both won?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's this, like, USGA is the biggest amateur, like, tour. Like, these are one of the biggest tournaments for amateurs out there, and honestly, winning a USGA title, it still has not kicked in. It's so surreal.
They'll figure it out. They are USGA champions, and with that, a gold medal, custody of the trophy for 1 year, 10-year exemption into that championship. You'll see them both at the U.S. Women's Amateur at Chambers Bay later this summer, and exemptions across the board for which they are age eligible. Again, congratulations to those two for winning the U.S. Women's Amateur 4-ball this week in Puerto Rico. Patrick Cantlay, Xander Schauffele, they are champions as well in New Orleans, both picking up their first PGA Tour victories in 2022.